This guy bought every packet of GB Welding and the weekend. Hey guys, it's Bill, Flatbroke Garage. Welcome to the channel. If you're a regular, you know I've been gone a couple weeks. I had to travel quite a bit, and you know, family comes first, and this is just a hobby. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you stick around. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Primarily, spring is here, and the weather turned nice, and Mrs. Flatbroke Garage wants to get going on some stuff. If you follow the channel, you know that this is my wife's flower pot. It's a 1953 GMC 5-window truck that we use for a flower pot. But it does run and drive. We do take it to events like photo shoot things at local churches and fall festivals, stuff like that. But primarily, it just lives here. The reason it sits here is the frame is bad. Now, I had somebody offer me a frame, but I might do a frame swap on it. Primarily, though, the whole flower pot thing is starting to fall apart. And that's this box. As you can see, it's rotten. It's falling apart. I mean, somebody put a flatbed on this thing 30 plus years ago. I actually found an old Shell lubrication sign, or part of it, old porcelain sign. I put that on for a tailgate. And I don't know, I just thought it looked kind of cool there. But the frame damage, as you can see, is this guy bought every packet of GB weld he could find in some angle iron and kind of cobbled it together, and you know, it's rotting away. But the truck does run and drive. I did throw a floor in it way back when because the cab mounts were gone and needed something to hold the cab up. Those are just self-tappered in. The truck has, I guess, a GMC hood ornament. I don't know, you GMC guys tell me, but somebody said these things are kind of rare. I don't know. Not a GMC truck guy, but you know, under the hood, it has the original plastic covered. I think it's a 248 GMC engine, not a Chevy engine. This is a GMC engine. This thing runs really well, so you know, not a bad deal. Clutch is good, brakes work. So the plan is, I have a friend of mine who restores these things and sells them at like Barrett Jackson and stuff. And he gave me some old parts he has. Primarily, he gave me a 6-foot box that's really rough, probably just as bad as that wooden box. And I have a couple of fenders, and we're just going to cobble a box together, and that wood frame, it's going to fall off. So we're going to make that thing back to being a short bed pickup truck. Some of you are going to laugh. It's probably not worth doing. But what the heck? I'm retired. So while we're waiting for Ashley to get here, she should be here, I think, in another day or two. Work on her Mustang. I'm going to piddle around with this box. See if we can get a frame under it. Make it more better. Let me show you the box. It has some rust issues, kind of in the fender area here, but over the years somebody had put a steel floor in it. These had wood floors originally. This side is good, but this side, the structure is kind of gone. I have an old bed frame. I think if we weld some angle iron in there, get that floor attached to the side, it'll give it a little bit more rigidity. You can see this fender needs a little patch, but we're not really worried about that fender because up on the wall I have two fenders that are less bad. You guys have probably seen them in videos. There's one fender there and another fender there. They're pretty solid. They're just, you know, they have issues too. I also have another fender that's got like the divot cut out of it and part of the bracket for the spare tire carrier that goes on the side. I think that's kind of cool. I might use that, so we'll see. So I'm just going to start cleaning stuff up, measuring, get a piece of angle iron in here, and get this bed ready to drop on that truck. Now, once I get that wood frame off, we're really going to look and see how bad that truck frame is. I might be able to section in something or weld in a piece of frame, because we really don't drive it. The truck is insured and plated, but it's not like, you know, we just drive it maybe 6-7 miles to local festivals. So, you know, we get going on this and see how far we get when Ashley gets here on the Mustang. So this definitely is 78 inches. It is a 6.5 foot bed. My bed frame is probably not 6.5 foot. 70 inches. So we're 8 inches short. Can scab in a piece. I'm gonna get this disassembled and clean this up and see if we can get that piece welded in there. If I was smart, which I'm really not, I could just use this whole bed frame as one piece. It is adjustable here. I could shrink it down so it fit in between the box and weld the whole thing in. But like I said, this side's pretty secure, solid, welded together. So if I eliminate this one piece here, we use these cross ribs to tie into that, and the extra piece I have I can use to fix the front of the box, which needs a piece of angle here. So I'm thinking we'll cut this piece off here and weld in this. Oh, or this could go here. I don't know. I'm still kicking it around. Got what remained of the fenders cut off, and as you can see, over the years this thing has received some quality body work. Yeah, that's good stuff there. It looks like I did it. But anyway, out with the old, in with the fix. Kind of got, I don't know if I'm going to cut this old edge off or not, or just use it for something for this to sit on. They repaired the bed back here, some angle iron, and it's welded. But I mean, there's some huge gaps here, so I think I'm going to stand this box up and see what we really got. Well, now I got it standing up here, I can kind of see it's actually diamond plate, which is kind of cool. But I think the discrepancy wasn't in the welding in of that, it was just not having wide enough diamond plate. Because if you take a measurement from the actual front of the box, which is still original, you get 50 inches. I come back here and it's 50.5 inches. And if we look at our sheet metal, it's a 48-inch piece. So we gotta make up a gap. That might be a good gap maker upper. You go like that. That should work. So I gotta clean some of that up. That's a disaster there down below. This side's still pretty structural-ish. I could throw a couple tack welds in, but that should hold itself in. So I think if we go from the underside, put that in, I think we're good. We just got to remove all of this scabby stuff here, and we'll section in a piece there. Then I have to make a piece for across the front. Sure, why not? Just a flower pot. kind of grinding out the old factory spot welds. You can kind of see them there. And there's a bolt yet up there. We're going to take this old piece of angle out, and that's where that new wider piece of angle iron will go in. I am going to separate that mess, I think. I don't know, we'll see, but that's kind of a mess there. Well, we'll address that once we get this stuff trimmed off. We got all the factory angle kind of spot welds cut off. I have to go to this high-end repair they have here. I'm really not following along. I don't know why they spaced it out so much, but if I cut this off, these bars, this rebar out of here, and I just slide it over just a little bit, just to close up this gap, that'll get me within my 50 inches. I gotta measure this. I bet this is 51, 52 inches wide. I don't know why they did that. I was right. This is just over 51 inches wide here. And it's 50 inches down there. So if I cut the rebar sticks out of here, I'm gonna slide it in, that should be good. That can give me something to tack to. And then I can get my angle iron put in here, kind of make this thing a little more rigid. This is all pretty good. I've got a couple broke welds. I'm gonna leave that for now, but let's destroy some of this. So I got those two pieces of rod cut out of there, and as you can see, this one was indeed a bolt, and so was this. But I think this was like a rod for to hold, like a battery hold down or battery box. It has just a little hook on the end. Glad the guy welded like I did, horribly, because it came right out. But once you get that out, that closes our gap in here. And I think I can squeeze this together, even if I can get one tack in here to hold it together, get all this cleaned up. And I'll weld in that angle iron, and we can just squeeze it all together maybe. Here's what we got. You got a piece cut, fits there, and goes there. So that'll work. I could just weld it on top like this, but I think I'm going to get underneath because this diamond plate. So I'm going to weld from the underside up, kind of give it like a shelf to sit on, kind of like that. And that'll tighten this thing up, because I just moved this thing and it flops around. So I gotta tie this side together somehow. So I'm gonna turn this thing around and get a flappy wheel and just start cleaning all this to bare metal. And even if I can get some tack welds in to kind of hold this together, it makes it a little easier to move around. Even down here, it's just messed up. And I'm gonna weld a couple cross braces through here too. There's no cross bracing because the floor is like a trampoline. I think I got enough steel here to do that, so we'll make it less worse. Got my edge all cleaned up. Got a flapper disc on it. Got it down to bare metal. Kind of got this brace all set. Should fit. Kind of right in here like this, and then I can just drill holes in the side over here, kind of where those spot welds are. I can re-spot weld it all back together while I glue it down to the diamond plate floor with the hot glue gun. It should work. Cut it and address some of that, and it's just got vice grips kind of holding my line here. So primarily what I want to do is I want to get this tack there and get some kind of tack up in here, and then we can come along the outer edge and get this secured to here. Then I can lay the floor down and get that on. It's like the right thing to do. Oh, this thing's rusty. I got that welded in, I'm running self-tappers through here. It kind of draws the panel in. I'll get this just tack welded in. Then we'll get the floor tack welded down. Come back and weld it. It ain't pretty, but look at this. This is a flower pot. Getting a lot more rigid. Won't pay no attention to this. That'll be fine. Yeah, I gotta beat that over and weld that from this side. And I don't know. It's coming better than I thought it would. I don't know how good that is, but it's better. So I got the angle iron tacked, I got the floor tacked. I'm working my way down. Still got to tack the floor in down here. I still got to weld in the angle to the side of the bed there. But already it's, well, less bad. We got some penetration on the welds, so they should all stick. All this thing has to do is hold up flowers. Maybe a hay bale or something for a picture. But I am going to put some kind of a cross brace in here to stop it from waggling around. But we already got holes there. So we'll figure something out. I also going to put an angle iron across the front piece to tie that together. And this thing should be pretty solid. Now the strongest point, or what was the strongest point, will become the weak point. Just holding up flowers. I got the bed upside down and got it sitting on jack stands. The next thing I got to address is this seam here. See, there's still a little bit of it here, but I got it cleaned up. And apparently whoever hit it before just pushed these together and tried just tack welding these pieces together. I'm going to get it, once again, another piece of angle iron. And we're going to make this a little more reinforced. So let me get a piece cut, measured and cut out here. We might put something in here. I got this other piece of bed frame cut, cleaned up, and it's a good solid fit along this edge. So I'm going to weld this in down here. Then I'm going to flip it over, push the floor down, and then weld the floor on the underside and on this side together. Still not sure about patching a piece in there, but this is definitely becoming a lot more rigid than what it was. I'm getting there. You know, I guess it's not perfect. But what I've been doing is I take this and I pry the metal out so it's flush with the angle iron and hold it and weld it. You see here, get in here. See, I can pry that out and make it flush. So that way you can tack it on. I mean, really, this truck is just yard art. I don't know why I'm reinforcing it so much, but like I said, I'm here, I'm doing it. Might as well really put the glue on it. Structurally, it has other issues, but now we're getting decent penetration. So, yeah, should hold together. I grabbed one of my fenders. Just did a test fit on it. Looks like all the holes still line up, which is good. I'm assuming we put the fenders on after the bed is on. All welded up. 78 degrees yesterday. It's end of March. It's raining with a little hail. So I'm going to call it for the day, but I had to put a fender on it. You know, it's the motivation. What do you think? It's kind of cool. While digging through my vast cabinet of miscellaneous oddball garage sale swap meet spray cans, I found this stuff. It's satin Hunt Club green. That looks pretty close to the green of this bed. And it's satin, so it's already kind of like pre-patinaed. Let's see how close this paint comes to fit in this bed. I don't know, not close enough. Well, there's the original color. There's the color on the back. I just kind of fogged it in because the lower part down here was bare metal, so I had to paint that. I just kind of fogged it in to match the peel and paint and rust up on top. And, you know, with the light shining on it, I don't think it looks too bad. Now, paint always looks better in video, so it's way worse. But at least it's kind of a unified color, rust and green. So we're going to go with that. I might go see if I can find a couple more cans of that stuff. Probably out of production, but just scuff up some. And I'll go get the fenders. I'll paint the fenders green too. I think that'll work. Kind of keep some of the original patina, but stop some of the flaking. Like this whole back end here is. I still got work to do on this. Spring is here, and I have to get going on a lot of other stuff. Like I said, we're going to get the flower pot ready because flower season is coming, and it's now weed season. So I walked around and dug out a bunch of junk stuff, and I built me a sprayer because we got a lot of weeds. This sprayer is made out of an old state of Wisconsin generator cart, a tank my buddy Teddy gave me, air hose reel that we can put a spray wand down to for spraying all the hillsides. And we got a spray nozzle on the back. So like for the cost of some PVC pipe and, you know, a battery, I think I'll put a solar charger on it too. That'd be cool. I got me a neat little sprayer. Other things Flatbroke Garage does when he's not doing the car things. That's why there's not a lot of videos all the time. Because I'm building stuff like this. If you guys are interested in this kind of thing, you know, just put it down in the comments. You know, watch me build stuff out of junk like this. Kind of boring, but yeah, put it down in the videos. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. So I came down to the truck, kind of checked things over. I got a battery charging. I'm going to have to get a battery in it. I'm going to drive it up. We're going to pull the bed off. So I had a buddy of mine give me some frame patch sections for another project that he never used. And got these things here. I'm kicking around with, when I get this bed off, remove all of this nonsense here. And these are meant, as the frame, truck frame is. I have a couple of these. I could box this thing in, but I got to get rid of this and take these rivets out, remove this spring hanger. But it'd be a lot easier to do without this bed on here. So check the, I think I still got, yeah, that's how I run it. I just use a little boat tank in here. This has a tank behind the seat. I do have another tank. My buddy gave me a fairly new tank I could put in this. I'm going to check the oil. And see how the antifreeze is. Now, the reason there's a plastic bag on here, if you've watched the channel, you'll see that rainwater had gotten in this truck and got through the vent holes in the valve cover, filled the engine up with water. So as long as I keep this plastic bag over it, it seems to be good, I hope. There we go. Crystal clear, right on the full mark. So that's good. So we know we got oil. This little quart gasket dries out, so I'll probably have to make a new gasket because that thing tends to leak. And antifreeze. This is the original radiator still. And check it out. It still should. Look at that. Still full of antifreeze. This thing don't leak a drop. It's a good little engine. It really is. So let me get this battery charged up. We'll get it set in here. See if this thing pops off. It should. I usually start it every couple of months. And we'll drive it on up and start hacking off the back. Well, it's early o'clock. Early start for a retired dude. I'm out here at the old truck, and I'm doing a 21st century upgrade. Getting rid of this thing. The old glass fuel bowl. Old Carter fuel bowl. Thing probably works. I know that this gasket's going to leak. It's got a little quart gasket. When it sits, it just dries out. So, preemptive strike, we went with the Chinese fuel line, Chinese fuel filter, and Horrible, horrible Chinese fuel clamps. We'll see if this leaks less than that leaks. I got a battery in it. It ran end of December, around Christmas, because we put Christmas lights on. I think I moved. Let me see if she fire up. Well, we don't have any fuel in the line. I could prime it. There's an electric pump on this tank, but I think this pump works. I'll just give her a choke. And set the old foot starter. Turn the switch on. What you do is you hit the starter with your foot and hold the gas down at the same time. Look at that. Man, this thing runs good. Am I in neutral? Man, this is just a good running truck. Oh, I left the plastic on. And we're leaking first gas here. Leaking profusely. Let's shut the thing off. We have hammers. No, that's not good. Everything else seems... Let me get this plastic off here. Wow. Oh no, we got leaks everywhere. I don't know if you guys buy these. I don't know. I bought a box of these Harbor Freight hose clamps. They're just horrible, especially these things. A lot of these guys, they're roadkill guys and all, they use these things and they never seem to leak for them, but man, they leak for me. And try and tighten these down. Look what size it is, how small those are. The old girl fired right up on the gas that was in the carburetor. I love this truck. Let me tighten these up. Well, I've had it running down here for about 10 minutes. It's warmed up. No gas leaks. Like I said, it just runs like a little sewing machine. Now for the fun part, let's see if the clutch and brakes and all that still work, because I live on hills. Fingers crossed, up the hill. I notice it's got a little smoke to it, little oil smoke, huh? Could be ring seating. This are plexiglass windows. I just kind of love this truck. Squeaky clutch pedal. I think I'm in third gear. Success! It made it. Time for disassembly. I do have to save these things. We're gonna, I think, reuse these. They already have some kind of mossy vegetation, flowery things. Oh yeah, look, there's flowers coming up already. But you can see this whole bed's just kind of iffy. I think I'm gonna load it in the back of my Chevy truck. Just haul it right to the dump, or we could burn it, I guess. I don't know. I do have a back bumper for this truck, along with more things my buddy gave me. What's a back bumper? I think the truck only has one bumper bracket. Yeah. The first thing is I want to try and save my old porcelain sign. This served more than decoration. This actually held the back of the truck together because the wood's so rotten. The thing's actually pretty cool. I should save it for something. Probably hang it on the shop. The back of the truck. We got our bumper, jack handle, milk can. There ain't nothing left of it, but it's from Ingleside, Illinois. It's kind of roughly, I used to live in that area, so. This was what, melons or potatoes or something? Hold and lift. be straight up honest here. I went out and bought Sawzall construction, like cut nails, cut wood blade. I can't find them. I looked all over. I gave up. So I'm like, that's made of wood. I'll use a chainsaw. Well, chainsaws aren't made to cut nails, and I guess I hit a couple nails, so now the chainsaw is dull. So we're back to circular saw. We'll finish cutting this up. Well, the old circular saw and the rotten wood, it went pretty quick, but there's just gazillion screws and nails in this thing. So he built this pretty well. He kind of stretched his box out here. He doubled down, put big carriage bolts through it, but under this 4x4, I think there's a bolt under here. See if I can get this off, and guessing I gotta pry all that off. We'll get to the bolts. As you can see, he just kind of nailed all this together. Put a wrecking bar under it. Finish prying this up. Well, I guess I might just cut these bolts if I can't get this off, but I might leave that 4x4 and that 4x4. Well, I don't know how rotted they are, but I might use them, kind of set the bed up to see how well the bed sits on here, because I don't have any of the original factory mounts. I just noticed the truck had brake lights. I never even paid that much attention to it. Just a brake light on the one side, but it was kind of legal. Bolts here. I guess that's all that holds it on, so let's cut those and get that one pried off. This frame should just lift right off. And the old death wheel out. Cut this bolt if I can get to it. Off. Released. You can kind of see that under all the ugly. I put more ugly, but it's new. So it does have working brake lines. I did replace, all the lines, like the main line going back was rotten, and all new rubbers. It's got new wheel cylinders, I believe. I know fronts work. I can't remember. I thought the backs worked. Ready? Okay, get your hand out. Get your hand out? No. What do you want me to do? Get your hand out.
Get the side of the trunk.
Yeah. No, I know it. We lost the block in the back. Get the fill off right on the back of the frame. Yeah. It goes across.
Hold on.
Now what we can do, we can just pick it up by this part. Try and move it ahead and set it on that block. Even maybe grab up front. Not bad. It's on. You're small but mighty.
I'm always.
You have wounds.
I do.
Well, thanks to Miss Flatbroke Garage, we got it set on here. Now the bed, like I said, it's just sitting on these 4x4s. It's a little lopsided, so we're gonna have to shim this side up. And it looks like we got to move it over and probably in some more. I'm going to put a fender on, and I'm going to see how well the fender opening lines up with the center of the tire. Like I said, it looks like it's got to go ahead more. I don't know, but definitely looking more truck-like. Well, I got the fender on, and that bed has to come way farther forward. I'm gonna have to do some more connoitering here to figure out how to get that to fit better, because we're touching the cab pretty much. I think this whole bed front's pushed out. We can smash that back with a hammer. That'd give us, oh geez, I'd say we need at least 3 inches, 2-3 inches. That's a lot. All right, let's do some more smashing. My plan is to ever so gently nudge the front part of this box back and see if that gets us enough room. Just give it a little. Definitely testing the integrity of the welds. So put the fender on the other side, and I guess height-wise it lines up pretty good. It's almost tight to the running board, which is mounted factory, but we're still pushed way back. Even if I can move this forward or get that front smashed back, I don't know, you know what I mean? The fender's still going to hit the running board. The running board's like factory running board. So I got to do some more thinking on this. Really putting too much thought into this thing, but I kind of want it to look right. This side is even worse. So. And this side of the truck doesn't have a running board, but I have it. So the next thing I have to address for lining up the bed is getting this running board bracket bent back out. You can see it's literally ripped off the rivets, and it's really creased here. So I got the blue wrench here, and we're going to heat this thing up and just try and bend it over, because I'm afraid of snapping this thing off. I mean, this stuff is 75 years old. But I have to have this on here so we can tie in, be sure, because the running board ties into the fender. So we got to get this out so we can get everything lined up, get our holes drilled, and then take the bed off and fix that. All right, well, I'm going to try and straighten this part out first. Oh, I'm not running out of oxygen. That's always what's happened when you do projects like this. You run out of oxygen. Well, here we go. After about an hour of smashing and moving and trying to line this bed up, the running board doesn't fit. I gotta do some work with that. But that is about as centered as I can get the wheel into the fender. Now, I did notice a couple of things. I looked at some photos of some survivor or actual restored trucks, and those wheels don't actually sit center in these fender wells. I don't know, it's my imagination, or what do you guys think? I mean, it just looks weird to me. It looks like it should be more centered in that fender well, but yeah, we're just going to live with that for now, guys. That's tight. That's as tight as it's going to get, and I got her smashed flat, so that's about it. So I'm going to end up pulling the fenders back off. We're going to pull the bed off and address the frame issue. Maybe clean it up, paint it, not just for show stuff, but to slow down the ever-ending march of decay. Get that squared away, and then I came up with a plan to mount this bed, and I'm using these 4x4s permanently. So I'll show you that later, but let's get the fenders off, get the bed off, take this off. Got to go get some oxygen for my torch. It kind of ran out. But we'll get this frame repaired, hopefully. Not repaired, just less bad. Let's see what heat does. Oh, I'm out of oxygen. I'm completely out of oxygen. Yeah, I gotta go get oxygen. Dang it. Give it a nice charcoal finish, though. What do you think, Elmer? You helping? Yeah, Elmer's helping. He's just looking around. Well, I just slid the bed back because Mrs. Flatbroke Garage isn't here right now, and Sure is handy having her around to help. But this is ugly. You can see there's a new crack starting right there. I don't know if it's new, but a crack. I'm definitely going to remove this top piece. But as you get over to the back side, as you can see on this side, it is boxed in this area. But the box part on this is gone. And he welded in, this is like 1/2-inch steel channel welded on the inside. You might leave that and just address this. I'm gonna get this off, and like I said, we can plate this whole thing down, maybe get underneath this shackle or spring hanger. Let me see if I cut this off. I don't even know what that is. Is that actual weld or is that JV weld? I hit it with a grinder. It didn't spark. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think that is? Let's get her cut off and investigate what's underneath. Well, I think I got it cut off. Honestly, I really don't know what this stuff is. It didn't even eat up the grinding disc. It didn't spark much. I don't know if it is like a JB weld or what it is, but not very hard. I don't know if we can pop this thing off. It's attached. Huh. Well, see if I can even knock this thing loose. I don't think it's moving. Just slice on it some more, I guess. I dug some more out of here. I cut through here, see if I can just pry this piece off. I already see daylight through the frame, so I'm guessing the frame is pretty thick. Or thin. I'm guessing the frame is pretty thin, but it's moving. I don't know, we'll get a little bit more out from here. There it goes. Wow. I don't know what that stuff is they use, but it is, it's tough. There we go. Let me get the big bar. Get the big bar under there. Well, I did cut into the frame. That probably wasn't a good idea. But, well, it's all my doing. It's all my bad. Let me try and pry the rest of this off, see what we got. So I got a chisel drove under this side. Let's see if I can finish prying this up. Go. All right. Well, there's the problem. The frame is cracked here. This is where the idiot with Flatbroke Garage cut another frame. We can weld all this up, grind off all this goo. So yeah, we'll weld these up, and then we are going to make a patch. I don't know what this stuff is. Really doesn't even spark. What is this, JB Weld, you guys think? Or is it like a solder? I'm getting some weird cancer. Probably just all lead or something. Try and get the rest of this off. Here's the mess. Got it pretty much cleaned up. Welded that crack. Kind of welded that up. I have a plate that's going to go over here, but I'm going to make it so it goes across that. So make a cardboard template out of this so I can transfer it onto that. Should work. I've seen other guys do it. Why not me? There we go. All chip foosy high-end stuff. We got it cut out and just transfer it to that and start gluing. Well, there we go. So I got it all marked out where I have to clean the frame to. And you can see this fits there. This goes over that rivet. I'm leaving all this on. I need drilled some holes so I can spot weld in for some more strength, because this frame isn't the best. Do I recommend you guys doing this for a daily driver? No, do not do this for a daily driver. Not safe, not right. This truck, it goes to a Christmas parade, a fall festival. You know, just do it right, do it safe. This is yard art, guys. This is not a daily driver. So is this the right way to fix it? No, it's not. But it's going to work for us. So that's the route I'm going. Well, I'm calling it finished. Like I said, not a welder, just a grinder, but patch it out. Whatever that JB Weld stuff was, boy, it did not like being welded to. So I had all kinds of problems with that there, but I mean, we should be structurally sound. It's not pretty, but it's good enough. Well, I got the bed off. All I'm going to do is just scuff this down, clean it up. A little primer on that. I'm just going to paint the frame black. Like I said, not a show truck. Just kind of preserve the rust that's there. Actual physical proof that Rust-Oleum can fix anything. Her patch came out okay-ish. I guess she'll hold. Now I'm going to mount 4x4 there with a lag bolt, or with a carriage bolt down to the frame on both there. And then you'll put the bed on and use lag bolts to screw into the wood through the bed. That's my bed mount. Should be good enough. Got my 4x4s mounted to the frame with carriage bolts. And then once I get the bed down on here, I drill through the diamond plate, get some washers, and then I lag bolt the bed down to here. That's about as good as this flower pot's gonna get. We're gonna send her home. Put these carriage bolts in. Secure bed. Whew. Man, this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I've got the bed measured from the frame to the outside, and then from the bed to the tires. It's within ½ an inch. I still don't like the way that tire, that axle looks too far forward. But look at this, it fits up perfect to the running board. Little truck runs good. Well, there we go. It's been a long day, and the truck is 85% finished, but it's good enough to hang some flower pots on. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm going to come back at a later date, and we're going to put the running boards on this thing, button up a few more things, but it's ready to display flowers, but I am going to work on it a little more. I'm going to put a gas tank in it, some brake lights, headlights, so maybe we can drive this thing, you know, more parades, more car showish. It does run and drive really well. It stops great, so just ugly. And it has a lot of rust, guys. Don't be fooled. The cab has a lot of rust. The Mustang is going to get worked on. I just had to fill in for a couple of days because Ashley's busy. She's going to college. She's got a house to pay for. She's got a full-time job. But she is coming. She gave me a date. I got this project in here so the wife can get the flowers in. That's priority one. And we're set to go now. All the honeydew list is over. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.